All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Late Night Larry, where I discuss certain NASCAR topics from my garage. And tonight, the discussion I really want to have is something that I think has been had over the last couple of seasons, especially, but over the last couple of weeks, I think it's really heated up. And I've been banging the drum on this for a while, and that is the discussion about stages and stage cautions. Where I personally stand on the subject, I'm kind of on both sides in a little bit of a way. I remember back in the day, not even necessarily back in the day, but back when I was young, when I was a kid watching NASCAR in like the early 2000s, you would see drivers dominate the whole race or run top five the whole entire race, and they blow a tire or they blow an engine with like 15, 20 laps to go, and they get like no points. They hardly get anything for running as well as they did all day. So I'm very appreciative of stages for the points they hand out. Like someone like Brad Keselowski, who had a fantastic day. Obviously didn't wreck out, but had a fantastic day. Ended up going out there and getting 20 points just from running great all race long, and also got the second place finish. So had a fantastic points day. So I'm all for the points, but I'm not a big fan of the cautions. I want the races to play out naturally. That's personally what I would like to see from NASCAR and stages. I want to continue to see stage points, but I'm hoping we eventually move off of the stage cautions. Just let the race play out naturally. If there's a driver that's out there that's just kicking all sorts of ass all day and no one can keep up with them and he just drives away, like for example, like SVG at like a road course, he drives out to like a 20-second lead, then he earned it. He earned that 20-second lead, and the only way you're going to catch up is obviously you pull some crazy strategy, figure out some speed, or the most likely thing, there has to be some sort of accident. I feel like if you have that big of an advantage, you deserve to have that big of an advantage, not have everybody brought back to you because of a caution. And one thing that I don't also like, very much when it comes to the stage cautions, is especially at the road courses, for example, because you'll have a lot of drivers end up winning the stage that weren't very competitive. They might have been running 20th at times just because everybody in front of them decided to come down pit lane. That way they can jump the stage and get track position for when they go back green after the stage. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not. I want the races to play out naturally. We don't really have fuel mileage races anymore. It's not really a thing. I think at Darlington, for example, we would have saw a lot of different strategies because of the way the tires were. You might have seen some drivers try to stay out for like 60 laps. I think most probably would have came around that 45, 50 lap mark, but some might have decided to come down earlier because there's no stage cautions, come down after like 30 laps or something like that. I think we could have seen a lot of different strategies in Darlington, and we already did see a bunch, but I think we could have seen even more, and I think it just opens up the playing field for a lot of different races on our schedule. So, long story short, let's keep the stages because I think drivers should be awarded for being phenomenal all day. If you're running top five all day, you deserve to have some sort of points show for it. If you get taken out or something like that, you deserve it. But let's let these races play out the way they're supposed to. And if someone's phenomenal, they're phenomenal. If it ends up being close, it ends up being close. It ends up being a wreck fest, it ends up being a wreck fest, you know? Just let these races play out the way they're supposed to do, because I'm all about strategy and I'm all about the best driver in the field winning. I'm all about all that stuff. So I'm hoping that eventually like I said, I've been banging the drum on this for a while, and I think a lot of people are really beginning to come around on the idea of removing just stage cautions in general, not just for super speedways, because that's been discussed quite a bit, not just for road courses, because they actually did try that for a little bit, and I don't think TV and some casual viewers were too happy about that because you had drivers like Shane Van Gisbergen pulling away by 15, 20 seconds. But let's actually do it for every racetrack on the schedule. I don't see this happening, for example, this season. Maybe we could try it at a couple of tracks, but they're not going to all of a sudden be like, no more stage cautions. That's probably going to be a 2027 thing. But I'm seeing a lot of people outside of myself that are actually being very loud about this on social media about them removing the stage cautions. This is probably the most, like I said, it's been a talking point over the last couple seasons, but this has definitely been the loudest that everybody's been. So everybody continue to put pressure on, because NASCAR has actually been good about listening to us, the fans, as of late. Something that I think they've struggled with over the last 20 years. But over the last couple of months, I think they've put in some great work, and they're clearly listening to the fans. And I think they're getting a great response from the everyday fan like me and whoever's watching this video. Some of the casuals are getting more into it, and then word of mouth is beginning to go around, especially with Tyler Reddick and Michael Jordan winning races. So NASCAR's looking up. NASCAR's looking up. So if we're gonna make changes like this, we need to do them now. We need to do them now. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about stages, stage cautions? Do you like the points being handed out? Do you not care about the points? Do you like the way it is? Do you like, because there's an argument to be made for the stage cautions. It racks everybody back up for sure, no matter what's happening. So I get people on that side of the argument, but I'm more of a racing purist. So I personally would prefer for the races to play out more naturally and not have these essentially competition cautions. I know that's not what they're called, but that's kind of what they are. Like I heard Matt Weaver this week talking about replace the stage cautions with debris cautions, and yeah, back when I was younger, there was a lot of debris cautions. I don't like those either. That cost Carl Edwards a championship, for Pete's sake. So I'm not a big fan of those either. I just want the races to play out the way they're supposed to. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about stages, stage cautions? Should they stay? Should they go? Let me know in the comments, and also please like and subscribe.